Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Carina and today I have a new video for you. So it's been a long time since I've posted something here on YouTube. I think the last thing was my February plan with me, and I know there wasn't a March plan with me, and that's because I didn't came to it. I didn't felt motivated to do one, and I know most of the people here on this channel are here because of the bullet journal videos. But I just needed a fresh start. I grabbed a new notebook because, to be honest, the notebook that I had was like so much pressure on myself to do it beautiful because of this whole I want to post it on social media. And yeah, I just decided to start fresh, to start minimal, and to give it more the space that I need and have some pages that I need and not some that make me happy because they are beautiful, because this isn't like the meaning behind the bullet journal for me. And because a lot of things has changed already in this year and a lot of things happened in the last half year, I've decided I just need to declutter my mind and yeah, start fresh. So today is my February wrap-up. Probably you saw it on the title. I just wanted to mention the thing with the March plan with me because, as I said, I know most of people are here because of the journal videos. I will maybe post the March plan with me, but it's then a little bit later, like maybe the 4th or 5th of March. And today I just wanted to get used to filming again, so I want to do this cozy little February wrap-up video. So I've read 8 books, or you could say 7 books and 2 novellas. So this is the little stack of the books I've read, and this isn't in chronological order, it's just how I grabbed it from my bookshelf right now. So let's start talking about the books that I've read. So first we have the Atlas 6. I was quite in a dark academia mood. I'm still in it because dark academia somehow makes me really happy. I was always this girly that loved to go to school and I love to study. So I don't know, this whole dark academia thing is totally something for me. And the Atlas 6 is a dark academia book with fantasy. So we have 6 magicians and they are invited into the Alexandrian society, but only 5 can make it through. You are in the POV of 6 people's mind, but in the third person, so they don't say it themselves, but you are in their mind, if that makes sense right now. This was a bit hard to get into, and I found it hard to know who has which powers because everybody has a different power. So for example, one can feel like emotions and manipulate emotions of other people, another can like talk with plants, and I always check the back to see who can do what. And the first like 200 pages were a bit hard to get through. It was really slow, but then the plot twist and everything was amazing. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. The quotes are really stunning. I annotated a lot. I don't know if you can see it because there were such beautiful quotes that made so much sense to me. I don't know. Yeah, it was really a stunning read, but only 4 out of 5 stars because in my opinion it wasn't the best dark academia book, but it was really worth it, its time. Next up we have The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. I've read this in one sitting because it's pretty tiny and it feels super warm to me. A lot of people say this reminds them of Spirited Away. It's a Ghibli movie and I can say this is totally right. So this really felt like Spirited Away. It's based on an Asian fairy tale and it's about a girl who is under the sea. So there is a sea goddess or a sea god and he needs a wife. So like all the terrible things stop, and so every year a girl is going down the ocean. It wasn't her, but she did it for her brother and his wife. So yeah, then there is this whole romance in it, and the plot twist also was great. It was a stunning book, it was really easy to read, and this was again a 4 out of 5 stars. Next up we have A Touch of Darkness. This was lying on my TBR for so long, and I don't know why I haven't picked it up. I think I haven't picked it up because it's third person, and I am more like the first person type of reader. I don't like the third person, but this was really stunning. It's like a Greek retelling. It's about Persephone, the goddess of spring, and Hades, the god of the underworld, and they fall in love, and she has no use of her powers, but then she learns to grow them. And this was really stunning. There are 2 other parts, A Touch of Ruin and A Touch of Malice, which are already on my bookshelf, and I'm excited to continue their story. The characters are really beautiful and I love them. And I love that it plays in the real world, like she is a journalist and all that stuff. This makes it so much more interesting to read. And yeah, this was again, I think a 3.5 to a 4 star, and 3.5 is still really good. It's just not like the cherry on top of the cake. I don't know if you say this in English, but it's like something you say in German. It's like the cherry on top of the cream of a cake, so it's perfect. But yeah, again, a cute read. Wasn't the best, but wasn't bad. I am excited to read the rest of the series. Then I've read, or I'm currently reading, the Shatter Me series. In February I finished Shatter Me, the 2 novellas Destroy Me and Fracture Me, and Unravel Me. And if you saw my November wrap-up video, which is the only one that I did except for this one, I DNF'd Shatter Me because it triggered me so much. Like, I'm a mental health person. In my teenage years I had strong depressions, and I'm currently really struggling with it and with anxieties and all that stuff. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, and this book definitely triggered me in the moment of November. I don't know what it was, it just made me so anxious and depressed. But in February I was in a good mood and everything was starting to get better, and I thought, why don't pick it up again and see if I maybe didn't like it, because yeah, it was such a big trigger and I was in such a bad place, mental health-ish. And then I picked it up again and now I'm obsessed. Like, this is so good. Shatter Me is only a 3.5 for me because like, Juliet is still in this peace of mind where she feels like unworthy, but I love how you see her grow in Unravel Me. So she really learns a lot, and all the teeny tiny plot twists that are coming in it are so stunning. And for the novellas, I know a lot of people are saying you don't need to read these because these aren't like a part of the series, but for me I feel like it was so important to read those. So if you don't know, you read Destroy Me after Shatter Me, and you read Fracture Me after Unravel Me. So they are in between of the different books, and Destroy Me was in the POV of Warner and Fracture Me was in the POV of Adam, and I felt like Destroy Me was extremely important because it changed my whole mind and it changed how I see things in the books, and it made so much sense to read them. Of course, the things you learn in this book you are learning in the other books as well, like in the normal books, but there are so much more details to the novellas, and it made so much sense. So if you're thinking about reading the Shatter Me series, please read the novellas. I know a lot of people are saying you don't need to read those, and I know somehow when I bought this I was like, do I really want to buy like a whole book with the whole price of a normal book just for these tiny novellas? But it definitely was worth it. Next up we have my last 2 books, and these are the only 5-star books that I've read in February, and they're totally different from each other. So like, here's the one book and here's the other book. They are so different, but it's so important for me to show these because they really have a special place in my heart. The first one is The Man I Never Met by Ellie Cook, and this was stunning. It's about this guy who dialed someone in London because he wants a job in London, and accidentally dials the number of this girl, and she lives in London and he lives in Texas, and then they chat because somehow the small talk on the phone was like really cool, and then they start chatting and all that stuff. And he wants to move to London because of the job, obviously, and then they fall in love in each other over the phone, and she's waiting for the day he arrives in London, but he never comes. And the whole plot twist, and I really didn't saw it coming because in the back you don't really know why he's never coming. It was so beautiful. I cried a lot while reading this book, and the ending was just perfect. It was beautiful and stunning, and somehow this book felt like a warm hug to me. And I don't know, the characters learned so much about themselves and about other people, and I can tell you why, but this book is just currently, I think, my favorite romance novel. Normally, I'm really just Twisted girl. I love the Twisted series. Twisted Games was my favorite, and with Rice and Bridget, it was so beautiful. But these two, like Davy and Hannah, they really, I don't know, they got me. I loved them so much. So this is definitely a 5-star book. If you're searching for a beautiful romance, then definitely read this book. You need to read it. And the last book of the month, I've read this in January and in February. So I picked it up in January, then stopped halfway through because I didn't get through it. I don't know, it was so hard. And then in February I picked it up again to read the other half, and the second half was going so fast, like in 1 or 2 days I finished this book. And it's a book that everybody knows, I believe. It's The Secret History by Donna Tartt. It's a masterpiece. It's so good. It's out of the 90s, and it's a really dark academia book. It's about, I believe, 6 or 5. I believe there are 6 Greek students. I've read it in the beginning of February and my mind is not coming up with me. But we are in the POV of Richard, who is like a little bit of an outsider in this group. So we have the group itself and then Richard, who's coming to them. And they murder a friend of them out of the group, and they are getting so lost in the Greek mythology and in the philosophy of Greek. You could see shift them so much, and somehow, I don't know, this sounds crazy, but somehow I felt it. Like I somehow, it was okay, you know? Of course it's not okay to murder someone, and I don't want to say that, but you know somehow why they did it, because you were so with them and you felt so much how they felt. For Richard, he didn't want to, but it just happened, you know? It just happened. It was so stunning. This book was so good. It's a totally 5-star read, and it definitely is like a part of my personality right now at this time of moment. So in this moment I feel like this is me and I am this book. I recommended it to everyone, my teacher, my father, my sister, my boyfriend, like to everyone, because this was stunning and I definitely want to read it again. When I finished it, I was like, I told my boyfriend I want the other edition, and then I want to annotate the other edition, and I want to read it right now again. Because as I said, the first half was really hard and then the rest was so good. And I think now that I know how the rest is coming, that the first part will be easier and there will maybe be some things that will make more sense now when I know what happened and all that stuff, if that makes any sense. But it was so good. I think everybody who is on Book Talk knows this book, and I feel like this is a whole own scene on Book Talk. Like the Secret History TikTok thing is like its whole own thing, and it's so stunning. And yeah, that's it for all the books that I've read in February. All of them were really good. I didn't have any bad books in this month, which was just a great feeling. I love to read a good book. I think we all love it. And yeah, as I said, maybe there will be a March plan with me. If you want to see it, then please comment and tell me, then I will post it. And maybe you want to see how I journal in overall. So I started like having a diary for manifestation and law of attraction and self-love and self-improvement and project planning and all that stuff. And now I want to have all of this in my bullet journal. Like, I don't want to have too many different notebooks lying around. So if you want to join this journey of self-improvement and self-love, you can definitely tell me in the comments. I would love to make some videos about it because it's just so important. And yeah, I think that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for sticking with me and watching this with me. If you read any of those books, then please let me know in the comments what you thought of them and how you like them, or if you have any recommendations of similar books, because I am loving dark academia right now. I am planning to read If We Were Villains in March and I'm so excited for it. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day and I wish you all the best. Bye!